Welcome to the Urban Cowgirl Show, training our horses and miniature cows in ranch versatility. Penning Rusty and Susie, our bull and heifer. Roping Rusty with Morgan horse, Semi. Training Eve to drive cart. Training Eve to work over her haunches with a motor cow simulator. Training Eve to lay down. Training Eve to harness, pull a log. Training Semi to harness, pull a log on turf. Liberty jumping to music with our horses who are our partners. Training Eve on a cow roping simulator. Training on our driveway, which is covered by sand, so we have a straight track. Stepping over poles, jumping over crossbar jumps. Training in our trail obstacles course. Sadie doing obstacles without rein control. Training miniature zebu bull Rusty to pull an implement. Demi Moore on a lunge line with Jill lunging Demi.
Okay, what I'm going to use on Demi today is a Nelson Pessoa lunging apparatus. I ordered it from Smart Pack Equine. You can also order them from Dover and a lot of other equine magazines. And this apparatus helps to teach the horse to develop its top line through here instead of these muscles down here. So it helps her with collection, teaches her to use her hind end. So she steps under and gets a nice kind of arc in her neck and relaxes. What you want is these muscles down here to be relaxed and for them to develop up through here. This is fairly new to Demi. She's done a little work with it, but she's still learning how it works. So sometimes it takes her 20 minutes before she kind of really relaxes into it. One thing about Demi is she's used to having ropes and different things on her, so she usually doesn't spook when I put it on, but you have to be really careful if you've never used anything like this on your horse that you introduce them to it slowly and be careful to watch how they react, because what can happen is it's confining. So if you try it on a claustrophobic horse, they can panic, they can rear up, they can flip themselves over if you're not careful. So I'm going to start with putting it on Demi. What I have here is, whoops, Demi, you gotta step up. Come on. Step. Okay. She's still okay for you?
Yes.
Okay. There's this section that's going to slide behind her rear, and that's normally how I start. It's a lot of ropes here. It can be confusing. If you're doing it for the first time, it's best to have somebody holding the horse when you do it.
Now remember, Demi's been trained for harness pull and for cart driving, and she's been a rope horse as well. So I would really be surprised if Demi had any problem with any of these feelings. But I will tell you this, that from my experience, both with horses and cows, putting things on their hips and behind their hips is probably the most challenging of all because they're just not, generally speaking, used to it. And so I think I just heard you say you're kind of like putting something on that's kind of like britchin'.
Yes. And
yes, that takes desensitization.
it's been about a month since I've used this on Demi, so I still want to go slow. I was using it once a week. On her, I wouldn't usually use it more than once a week because it is hard work for them. And you don't want them to strain their muscles. So, okay, what I did here is I hooked it up here first, slid it down her butt. Right now it's set for my thoroughbred, I just realized, so she's much smaller, so there's these little pulleys, yeah, that you can adjust the sizing of the apparatus.
See, now what Jill was saying, that if Demi hadn't been desensitized to these feelings behind her legs, under her tail, along her hips, she could be quite stressed right now. But I don't see that stress at all, otherwise I'd be there holding Demi for her. She generally can do this alone with Demi, and I'm not seeing any reason why today we don't expect everything to go just fine.
It's a little bit windy, so also that's another. Generally, if you were doing this for the first time, you probably wouldn't want to do it when it was windy out.
Or do it in an enclosed area, covered arena, which we may have chosen to do today, but instead we came out here to the sun. And let's see, we can always move into the square pen if we want to.
And now there's two side pulleys. You can see this is like a pulley here. And the same adjustment you can make here, making it shorter, smaller. And what I do, and there's different ways to do this, and it does come with an instruction manual. I just loop it through the girth loop on the saddle pad, going down from the top. Some people put it through the hoops on their lunging.
Surcingle.
Yeah.
And you choose that loop instead because there's more room?
Yeah, it's just, that's kind of how I learned how to do it. And if you didn't have these hoops on your surcingle, you could always just put it through. You would need a hoop on the top, though, to attach it to.
Right.
At least, yeah.
Okay, and your cinch is pretty tight, is it?
Actually, I can use a little tighten. I don't do it too tight, but you don't want it to slip around. I'm going to go up a hole here.
It's a nice surcingle, by the way. Very nice.
Thank you. I almost forgot what it was called. Okay.
Now, could something happen here that spooks Demi? Sure, something could happen. These are predator horses, right? They almost look for predators because it's their nature, but I'm not seeing any problem, and if need be, I will immediately enter the arena and help out. And this is in an enclosed area in spite of the wind, which I'm sure you can hear on camera.
What's good about this particular apparatus is it's no tie down. Everything's on a pulley system, so everything moves.
Which I highly believe in.
And this is elastic in the back.
Yes, I see.
So there's give. Everywhere there's give. So I've only taught her to work with this in the trot. I haven't done any canter work. And what I'm trying to get is her to bring her head down a little bit more and start using her back. And to do that, I want to get it from her hind end, to get her to use her hind end. Because see, when she brings her head up, that elastic on her, at her stifle hock area there, tightens, and she doesn't like that. So she then brings her head down, and it teaches her to go in a lower frame. And you can use this for all different levels. This is a very beginning level. More advanced dressage people might use it to gain a lot more collection, but we're not doing that. We just want to develop kind of muscle strength through her back.
And so is it really making her reach with her back legs too, do you think?
Yeah, because it pulls. It like makes her step under herself. But like in a very friendly way. It's all very soft and elastic and giving. And she can bring her head up if she wants. It's not a tie down.
I see she's adjusting her head. She's probably trying to see what will relieve the pressure that she's not liking. So she's changing her position herself. Oh, did you ask for that or she just did that?
No, and she does that to avoid.
Yes. She picked up a lobe briefly. She's trying to figure out how to get the pressure feelings that she doesn't like away. Which we hope will result in the correct answer that we're looking for with this apparatus. I have never seen this kind of apparatus demonstrated, not even on RFD TV. I'm very grateful to Jill for showing us today how it works. And very slowly I will try to teach it to my horses. I don't expect a lot of trouble, only because my horses are ranch versatile and they're used to all of these straps and ropes and obstacles and double reins and so forth. They're used to these devices, but you know, it's that claustrophobic feeling and it's that possible panic moment that you have to deal with. And then it's respect, focus. Beautiful.
And now, I mean, we could shorten the ropes underneath the pulley, shorten them a little bit to try to get her to bring her head down a little bit more. But my experience with her is that after a little while, she starts to do it on her own. Might shorten them a little bit just to see what happens. We'll try it.
How about maybe and then go the other direction?
Yeah. Try. I'll shorten it one more. Try a little bit more this way. You really have to kind of play it by ear and see. Each horse is different on any given day too.
You're still going in the same direction?
I'll switch her in a second.
Okay,
I want
just one thing at a time. I agree. One small step at a time.
Girl, damn.
She's trying so hard. I just feel it. I see it. She just wants to do what you're asking. Look at that. A few strides of canter, no problem. Technique being shown to you from Minmore Farms.
Good girl.
She's trying. She's putting that head down to see if it relieves the pressure, if she gets praise. She's learning what is the correct answer. And at the same time, as you say, developing her muscles.
Okay, I'm going to try her to the other side. And she has a direction that's easier, and one that's harder, and right off the top of my head right now, I can't remember.
I know. I remember when we were working with Eve, I said the same thing, and then I confirmed the next day that counterclockwise is her bad direction. So you just went counterclockwise, and I'll try to help you remember, and video does help in the future. So we will document. If there is a weaker direction, we'll make it clear. So now she's going in the clockwise direction. I see her checking it. Yes, she's wondering. Somehow it's feeling different. Yeah, she is definitely trying.
This might be the easier.
She's licking her lips. Good sign that she's relaxed. Ah, but you see the way she's going way down?
Yeah.
Yeah, what does that mean to you?
That's another avoidance. You don't want them that low.
Yeah.
I'm letting her do it right now because we haven't really started trotting yet, but it means she has to kind of push on a little bit more from her hind end. Trot, trot. See, now this direction is easier for her.
And how are you seeing that?
In her head carriage, it's easier for her to go with her head lower. So see how she's carrying her head? More work happening on the top line. The muscles under her neck are more relaxed. So that's good.
You can see that from where you are?
Yeah. And the other direction, she kind of wanted to bring her head up a little bit more. So I think it's harder for her to go that direction. I want to keep her moving here. She's getting a little pokey. But at the same time, I don't want her to canter. And this is a little bit difficult for her because there's the slope to the arena. So when she comes downhill, she picks up a little speed. She has to balance herself.
So rather than extending and reaching under with her back legs, she's electing to pick up a lope because that's easier for her.
Exactly. But she's you know, she's working on it. And she's doing it. This really helps develop their hind end, teaches them to use their hindquarters.
And what are you doing when she does pick up that lope? Is she stopping herself, or are you giving her a cue that that's the wrong answer?
No, I kind of just let her stop herself. I don't want to put too much pressure on her when she's rigged up like this. I kind of let her just rebalance herself back into a trot, and then I try to push her on a little bit without having her pick up the canter.
It's interesting the way you use the word balance. Can you define for me and for those other people listening what you mean by your rebalance herself?
Well, I think the horses have their own natural balance that they move most efficiently and effectively. I only know it from being on a horse that's balanced. When you're on a horse that's balanced, they move smoothly, and an imbalanced horse, you kind of not sure where their feet are all the time. I'm pretty sure that a trainer could articulate it a lot better than I could. But she's what I'd call a very balanced horse. If I'm riding her and we, jump a jump, and she's on the wrong lead, if I lean a little bit the other opposite direction, she'll quickly swap leads to balance herself back out. She's pretty good about. I think it's the same thing as like walking on a balance beam or something like that. When you start to teeter one direction and you have to pull yourself back. Now I'm going to let her kind of slow. It's kind of interesting. Is she kind of wants to always go either trot or walk. My gelding, he'll go into a slower kind of jog. Let her walk. Take a little rest.
Now she's testing again by putting her head down while she didn't do it at a jog. You think that's focus, or you think it's what? What is she doing at the walk there when she puts her head down that she didn't do at a jog?
I think she's stretching, but she may be just testing the limits. Trot.
From my experience, Demi is a very, very intelligent Morgan. She's mature. She has the ability to respect and to give focus. But I do believe she thinks herself. She does.
She's starting to move, more relaxed, kind of giving a bigger trot. That was from me because I tapped her with the whip, so she picked up the canter.
And when I say think, what I'm saying is that she's using her left brain, as we say in the natural horse world. I don't believe there's any science to left versus right, but there might be.
Okay.
But when we say right, we mean reactive. When we say left, we mean focus, compliance. What do you want, Mommy?
I'd like to take her back to the other direction one more time. See if she's a little bit better. Good girl. She's breathing pretty good now. This is a good workout for her. One thing is when they start playing with the bit and getting real mouthy, I take that as a sign that they're tired and they're ready to be done. If they start really kind of getting fidgety. Trot, trot. Good girl.
We've been working nearly a half hour, and most of my lessons usually last that long. We always leave time in case there's problems, but a half hour is usually enough to get the next step done or know what needs to be worked on. Now in this counterclockwise direction, right now she's looking great to me. So we won't do it today, but you're telling me that in a round pen or a square pen, smaller one, you would just take the lunge line off and with your lunge whip or your body language ask her to.
Yeah, I like it better without the lunge line. I'm going to quit now because I do think that she's tired. I think going this counterclockwise direction, I can normally get a little bit more. I can bring her over here and see. And there's a lot of experimenting that can be done with this that I haven't really done, but I can get a little bit more, just lower, get her to travel here. See, when she brings her head down, these muscles are loose. That is good. When it's up here, those muscles are tight. Get her head up, and this gets developed, overdeveloped. It's my understanding, at least.
What should we call this lunging technique? You choose the name.
Well, it might have a name. I think maybe I have to check and see what they say in the catalog. I'd call it almost a pulley system because it really is based on pulleys.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna unhook her.
So the pulley system for now, Pulley system, right?
Yeah.
Of lunging.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you come up with a better name or a more well-known name, let me know, and somehow we'll let the viewers know. We want to emphasize that this looked very easy with double track Demi Moore, but it is something that can be quite frightening, quite claustrophobic to a horse, so it shouldn't be done unless you have somebody experienced with you, and unless you know your animal and your animal knows you quite well.
And there are different, and maybe on another show we can experiment that you can hook these on different levels to achieve different things. And I'd have to go back and look in the manual that came with it, but I think you can hook up here to get different levels of collection.
Okay, and then one other alternative device that a lot of people use is elastics that hook from one place to the other, but I don't see elastics giving as readily as the pulleys.
The pulley.
You agree? It's that instantaneous release of pressure.
Yeah.
That is the really good training device here.
Yeah. That's what I like about it.
Jill Pecan and double track Demi Moore, mother to Semi. Shadrack Stables at Midmore Farms. Sadie and Eve. Semi. Rusty and Susie. www.thesocolos.com